then case, criminalization, capitalism, and I call it nuclear discourse.
T, case, criminalization, cap, nuclearism.
Yes.
Got about 5:45 left.
All right. Topic guide number one, so we over the United States for more single across the expression of value, and we need to blend this up. This answer to cross-examination. Also, they can see we don't need to answer this. That is just a following reason to lose good. You should default to a reason plan. There's no reason why violate topic guide violations because you're in the cross-examination. Now the case debate two is number one is status quo solved. However, it's in our now 2006 evidence indicates out of control in the status quo. The violation was simple and implemented because people aren't able to because women aren't able to go to civil court. Charcoal part of 2003 evidence indicates that this is patriarchal. They will not be able to have recourse. Our 93 evidence indicates this will culminate in this will culminate in the justification of the war. Westman evidence indicates the only way to solve these type of nuclear problems is to direct over U.S. resource. And they say plan trade off with the VAWA funding. However, our now 2006 evidence indicates that out of control now and that VAWA was implemented. The VAWA with the C was implemented when the original VAWA passed. That means the impact should happen. Also, there's no terminal just because it costs $1.6 billion. I mean, there's no scenario for trade-off. There's no reason that it would cause the economy to do anything else. We'll always win the risk of planning advantage debate. We'll listen to hate crimes advantage here. Or the evidence shown reason the one I see indicates that without a reapplication of Section 5 of the 14th Amendment, hate crime legislation get shut down the status quo. The civil evidence we read in the one I see indicates this will accommodate things like childhood, things like genocide, and the mass killing of people through hate crimes. So this will weigh on the same level as the criticism. Also, also in the biodiversity impact indicates Section 5 of the 14th Amendment jurisprudence prevents regulation of the Clean Air and Water Act, which is critical for freshwater biodiversity. This evidence indicates that without that biodiversity will come on any extinction. They say civil remedies is symbolic and it doesn't solve and that will lead to rollback. However, our Davis doesn't want evidence indicates that the civil remedy will trigger state reform and to particular offenders, even if it's only symbolic. The offenders will not think it is symbolic. The offenders will be deterred. That means that symbolism won't have the rollback. Also, there's no scenario for the rollback. No reason why symbolic civil remedy would get the rollback in the status quo. We won't change based on jurisprudence criminalization. One is current law criminalizes rape and crime against the state, plain chances to allow redress of victims, which is uniquely empowering to break down patriarchy. This wall in 1997 feminist reconception of power, is empowering the dominated property right and sexuality, would approach positive good manifest the person's extension of her personality into the world of positive necessary self-expression. That constitutes of truly human life does establish the right of possession whose enjoyment a woman long denied. So this would remedy problems with the criminal justice system trigger rape today, extra rape are brought by the state incorporating rape into public wrongs. Society is whole concept of rape against society is against society is very reiterates women's exclusion of always infertile appropriations, social autonomy, control, the disruption from paying the price of females' virginity, paying the price of the victim for her injury as a major step forward for women to significant disruption to patriarchal structure, and we control unique system, now evidence of violence is out of control of the status quo. In turn, only we have the ability to change our criminal justice system and criminal justice system managed to stop domestic violence patriarchy. There's always been evidence from the ONC, and the states are worse than our goal for evidence about how the states are more violent against women than their approaches. Only we empower women by giving them federal cause of action, and their terms are non-unique existing power provisions already criminalize domestic violence and increase surveillance. Is Miller and allowing validation of the civil rights provision leads intact the rest of the law. Feminist victory for national policy with the protection of women has been transformed in the means to expand the crime control apparatus of the state and successful civil cost of action, reduce the need for criminal intervention. This Weissman no one improve no black company or reduce the need for intervention by the criminal justice system, civil protection orders, provide resources and conditions for escape abusive relationships, or what often reduces about a woman's relies on the criminal justice system and violent protestical movement increases government repression. This is Seeley and 86 to anything to violent movement will do essentially damage to people to property, both violence frequently increases totalitarianism and destroy the movement from within the aftermath of violence is the increased government repression is a consequence of the being chosen and violent movements are key patriarchy. The alternative to solve the case and cause extinction. This must be and 65 once rethink reform later and revitalize our conviction where compelled to seek non-violence is hard for men to accept inclusion. It does keep on about the condition of whether the choice to be verified before this formulation is held as evidence of our mental moral sickness. The choice is between more submission is between non-violence or the extinction and the alternative solves on the case less recent. Also point is the federal remedies case and go far from the one he sees several remedies of the key because the transformation of society matters. See, violence against battered women, the alternative cannot solve this transformation. He sends sign evidence from the one he sees the plan to transform our concept of violence by linking it with equity to solve the public power dichotomy. The alternative because it ensures women to relegate the power sphere. That's the right evidence and the also the right Weissman evidence. Supreme Court order rules, keep the challenge of sensible notions about the gender equity in the public way, this transform legal culture, solves the case, turns the all, B, as the legal system to devise one without blend, civil rights claims, but unique solves through the plan to transform the frame of reference, and have a track record of success as goal for everyone to prove from the one see implementation to both these have any like rejection of affirmative or negative statements, the alternative solves any residual links, and the alternative is vague, not reciprocal the plan, justifies the implementation more than phony pigs, and allows a negative to be moved to killing Ferris, independent voting issue, and permit to do the plan in the alternative, will solve any risk of the alternative, and Miller admits the alternatives to criminalization, fail to solve domestic violence, modify for structural changes, Miller and 5, alternatives to criminalization are rare in the United States, both these human rights, practices living the individual vulnerability, either wider into the community or the possible retaliation by this making strong claims of human rights violations, officials very regular, women of one and abuse may be subject to backlash by courts, capitalism. One, utilizing the resources of the state's critical women's politics, and under we need to critically examine the working amount of ground between total reduction, total endorsement, the work willing to save all examples of description, to save responsibility, provision of state supported resources, deal with real problems that about women face, make it possible for women to have economic, social, and independence, that's the record for also women's freedom from abuse, the right to remedy the Bible, to explicitly identify gender motive violence as a harm, and regards to gender animus, examples of the important part of the identification of the income of violence, sexual abuse, rape of genders, as affecting women's freedom, citizenship, and autonomy, and fundamental women's equality, across the core content, the core piece of the law about women's movement that generated the past 25 years, importantly, legal work and battering, and the goal of our Snyder between the one he indicates that this so we're literally transform the way the legal system works in status quo and reconceptualization is not enough government action is essential subject to violence to Snyder. And 95 so that's only the power of self-violence against women to begins with the universal responsibility of the government to declare violence against women is the primary force of the short link between domestic violence and poverty and empathizes and individual solution individualism perhaps inadvertently individuals stop blaming the expense of collective action government has power responsibility and authority to transform social knowledge about resources and ensure safety and slogan reflects about the privatization solution for social problems and the fall of capitalism will bring about a social revolution where fascists will take over and create hell on earth. This is Lewis and 92 the extreme laws like the kind of power necessary to emerge victorious from a revolution. Court Marx condition will be in effect the radical right or well trained while the law stops manifest style have links with the American military one allows the very country to destruct power with plan no such crisis. So under the American Senators political institution we could experience revolutionary movements to that in Germany in the 1930s is unrelated to business culture would we tend by the promises of left of revolutionaries Americans allow the fight rather than far left American society simply to bend to progress and the majority of citizens who custom owning property will own the rest everything will come down communist experiment through the concern about social justice environmental protection liberalism should not be afraid to embrace capitalism and capitalism heated democracy is broke and free trade and ideals of the citizen report those are products of the choice that we can turn and better than the message of democracy freedom free trade and the internal cell systems ensure these materials amongst themselves and organize their labor and do activities that promote democracy free trade is closely linked to democracy and one example in the time society there's no marked by a large amount of measure of political freedom that it not also used on to compare to a free market organized bulk of economic activity free trade and democracy are on a continuing move together and also they play massive defense against themselves when they say that it'll probably work now that the revolution will probably work in the status quo this will be devastating for there's no reason why the plan we need to crush the plan at best would be a barrier to still be able to go through and capitalism doesn't inherently turn toward exploitation South Africa proves that capitalism supports the probably oppose racial discrimination this is Lewis 92. Number 2, South African class opposed apartheid is not at all. Clearly, capitalism will work around to the greatest of South African racial order. Capital support for racial discrimination controls had diminished in turn in opposition support for the apartheid, or rather, has come mainly from the white working class to keep this partly, but political system partly nation political mobilization with strong ethnic class and African nationalism is the most striking example of this. And poses a severe problem for Marxist analysis. Nuclearism. First, the critique part of exclusion and depression countries. Wrong card, sorry. Consequences must be evaluated. More rights and wrongs are based on consequences. The means ethics goes away. This is Johnson. And any for moral purposes are not about critics to new and return to the center of consequences of the bronze disease has a powerful claim. However, revive and revise our conception more the right behavior, not about reflecting consequences. If it's simple wrong to kill the innocent, the wrongness must in some way be connected to the consequences and concrete images of nuclear war lead to political action. This Fisk and 83 existing sort of research suggested the cognitive images of nuclear war and their effective cloak minutes my mind precipitate political action laboratory data suggested specifically the images correctness and their availability to remember precipitate action and nuclear death image did not lead to preparation for death, but instead from the value of human life. The only way to love is to experience nuclear fear. This Fox and 85 no we were to ourselves with fear of fears on life. The bomb will go away and even without another than else won't there remains one shows the absence of fear about a better degree of stress and uncertainty for security. For security understood in this way must have made a nuclear fear and anxiety disease for watching we must by the hero requires that we continue to come to face with unthinkable and image of thought. In this manner we can bring hold over us and free ourselves to begin new initiatives confronting massive death helps to bring ourselves more in touch with what we governments put on life and permute to the plan and work through nuclear discourse at the same time to be able to solve the entirety of the impact of the criticism and failure to imagine nuclear war cause denial makes nuclear conflict even more likely. This is lands in 96 Americans have escaped the devastation of nuclear weapons. We find it easy to measure and self-immune to the threat. This from death realities and another aspect of running installation from most basic realities. If we're to heed the Camus's code, we must revivify the imagination of what violence really entails without vivid imagining is natural to deny the existence of death machine and their consequences. Adopting ourselves to nuclear fear is counterproductive.
Okay.
Yeah, let me have your.
Okay. Let's start on the TSC club. The text of the part wants to do the plan and work throughout the discourse.
Nuclear images you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, it's to do the plan, work through nuclear discourse.
How does one exactly work through nuclear discourse?
About the same way you would. I mean, our argument is just
Isn't
that.
our argument to reject you for your use of nuclear discourse?
Well, our argument is that we should be able to think about our nuclear discourse and examine the effects it has on society.
Okay. And then the lens is, I take it, the net benefit to that?
What?
Lens? Are you going to be claiming the lens evidence is
Sure.
the...
Yes, if we go for the permutation, we'll obviously have to have that benefit, most likely.
Well, I realize nowadays that kind of what you're going to be claiming.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it would be an benefit to permutation, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the vigilante justice flow.
Sure.
What's the warrant behind your first argument? You say the current law is good. What's the warrant behind the current law being able to?
Current law?
I believe it's the number one you
The
read.
data says current law is good.
Well, I might have simplified that.
No, the evidence says that, the evidence says that current law criminalizes rape as a crime against the state.
Okay.
Our argument is that the plan changes that type of criminalization to a crime against the victim, victims, which allows them access to civil courts, which
Okay.
allows them to take.
But they still have to be.
It's no longer a crime against the state, it's a crime
They still
against
have to
women.
be a victim though, in order to go to the civil court, correct?
That's not what you're linked for. I mean,
I'm just
I'm not
asking.
gonna,
I mean,
I'm not gonna like link to
something
your
about
victim
your-
stuff.
just asking a question, man.
I mean, yeah, they have to have been abused somehow by gendered or domestic.
Okay, cool. And number, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. You say our impacts are non-unique. It was a card you read. I didn't catch the site.
Yes,
What's the warrant
states,
behind
state laws are criminalized in status quo.
it? Okay, and so that non-uniques are impact because
Because
it
you
is
say
the
criminal.
status quo.
Yeah, you say
Just
criminalization is
criminalization
bad.
is the status quo.
Okay.
The states do it,
States
and
have
there's no
to-
mechanism to solve it other than the plan, which would
Okay.
create a civil remedy, not a criminal.
Okay. And then, oh, it's the very bottom card, it's the very bottom card you read. I guess it's not the actual card, but it's the environmental movement's key. Is that correct?
It's
It's
on
on
criminalization.
Yeah, still on criminalization.
I don't think the last card.
Well, it wasn't. Excuse me. The last card you read was an all fails. It's the last card. It's after your violent protest leads to increasing government opposition or oppression, then you have some sort of movement
Oh,
to
yeah,
stop
yeah.
extinction.
It's another violent movements card.
So it's
this
violent
evidence-
movement.
Yeah, the evidence say violent movements cause patriarchy, which cause extinction.
Okay, so violent movements lead to extinction. Okay.
Yes,
like your alt.
And- Okay, so our alt is going to cause, so
Yes,
going
your
out into
alternative.
exact
Our evidence says that
on the rate
our
is
evidence
gonna cause
our evidence
extinction.
equates patriarchy with violence. It says that
How are we,
it's hard
how
for
are we
men to
an act of
accept a conclusion.
patriarchy when we're taking out the rapist, when
What do you
we
mean?
allow women to become vigilante and take
This
the law
evidence
into their
says
own hands? How is
it is
that
hard for men.
patriarchy?
It is hard for men to accept the conclusion of nonviolence. They keep coming back to the
We're
conclusion
not
that
saying
the choice is-
non-violence, man.
that the
We're
choice-
saying take
I
the
know.
violence to the streets.
Right. They keep coming back to the contention that the choice is to be brave and fight. This formulation is self-evidence or mental and moral sickness. The choice is not between war and submission, it's between nonviolence and extinction. This evidence says
So not-
patriarchal mindset,
Okay, cool.
regardless
Cool.
of the outcomes.
Right on.